Hey everyone, it is an incredibly beautiful Saturday, April 16th, and this has to be the best possible weather to hike in. It is 50 degrees, clear skies, no humidity, so I decided to do something new today, something big, and I am hiking a seldom thought of mountain range in North Carolina, at least for its location and height. I'm in the Plott Balsam Mountains, which is west of Asheville, west of Waynesville. It's in the northern section of Nantahala National Forest. It also is part of Pinnacle Park outside of Sylva. It also has some land. I actually started at the Blue Ridge Parkway, and when I mentioned it's seldom thought of, it's overlooked in terms of the other 6,000 foot mountains in North Carolina. The tallest mountains in the Plott Balsams are over 6,000 feet. I think the tallest is Waterrock Knob, which I parked across from that road. It's around 6,200 feet. And this is a mainly east-west mountain range that sits in between the Great Balsam Mountains and the Great Smoky Mountains. So my plan today has started at the turnoff road for Waterrock Knob, going in the opposite direction. And I'm take an unofficial trail, although it's got some signs and stuff. It straddles the border of the Blue Ridge Parkway and Nantahala National Forest and then Pinnacle Park, and it goes out to Yellowface, which is a 6,000 foot mountain, and then Blackrock Mountain, which is 5,800 something, but it's supposed to have incredible views. If I want to, I can continue farther to the Pinnacle, which is an incredible overlook above Sylva, or I might turn around and hike up to Waterrock Knob and Mount Lynn Lowry to get some more views and 6,000 foot peaks. So right now you can see what the trail condition is like. It's pretty good. I think through the trees is Yellowface Mountain. The sign said it was 0.6 miles from the parkway, so should be there pretty shortly. I believe I started my video too soon. The trail soon opened up, and walking through, I don't know what kind of shrubs these are, but just in front of me is Yellowface, and you can see I got some decent views through the trees west of the Smoky Mountains, and I spy some really cool cliffs on the side of this. Oh, let me go check this out for a sec. So, nice little open view of the Smokies. But I'm gonna keep climbing, get to the top of Yellowface soon. I'm not quite at the top. I have a couple hundred feet more to climb. As you can see, the ridge is a little higher than me, but just below the summit is this really awesome view, southeast. So I don't really know what the drainage is that separates the Plott Balsam Mountains from the Great Balsam Mountains, but it is pretty steep, and I wish from this angle I could really pick out what these peaks are. The only thing I can see is that I know of for sure is Mount Pisgah. Straight ahead, kind of left to center. I can definitely see the giant antenna tower on top of it. Not sure if the phone picks it up, but that is kind of the northeast gateway from Asheville to the Great Balsam Mountains. All right, made it to the top of Yellowface. It's a somewhat open heath bald. I thought it had more tree cover from what I read online, but pretty nice little summit here. These I really don't know what they are. Maybe they're blackberry or something, blueberries. They haven't bloomed yet. But yeah, grassy and shrubbery. Man, that was fun. With about a mile left to go to Blackrock, the trail just kind of dissipated and followed a user path along a very rocky, narrow ridgeline with huge boulders, lots of fun scrambling. Now I'm at the top of Blackrock Mountain. Incredible views. Down there is the town of Sylva. These are the Nantahala Mountains. South, the Great Balsam Mountains. East. Now we can see the path I took, which is that bumpy ridge line. I think straight ahead is hard to tell, but the non-high point, just the smaller ridge lines, Yellowface. Actually, never mind. I think it's the bigger one right there. And then if I look that way, I think the big peak, dead center, is a Waterrock Knob, and on the right is Browning Knob. The only thing you can't really see very well is west of the Smokies, but otherwise pretty awesome peak. I think I have my bearings on what I'm seeing northeast in the Smokies. Right here, I think this is the Cataloochee Divide, which is one of the front ridges in the Smokies. On the right is Hemphill Bald, I'm pretty sure, or Purchase Knob. And then this extended ridge line I think is Mount Sterling, because I know it has an pretty extensive collection of spruce fir forest. And then the big mountain in the distance I think is Mount Guyot, which is one of the third biggest or second biggest mountain in the Smokies, and that looks higher elevation than this, and I'm at 5,800, so I think that's at least 6,000. Might be mistaken, but you know, I rarely get out this far west. Blackrock Mountain was freaking awesome. Excellent views in almost every direction. And the two groups of hikers I met on the way to it, both in their 60s, were super nice. Took a lot of pictures for me. It's great. So I decided to alter my original plan, which was to turn around at Blackrock and go back and hit the peaks east of Waterrock Knob. But it's such a nice day that I figured while I'm up here, I should just keep going and hike to the Pinnacle, which is another incredible overlook from what I've read in Pinnacle Park. The only downfall is what I've experienced in the last 10 minutes. This is actually not steep here, but man, the descent from Blackrock Mountain was almost straight down for 500 feet or so, and I know I have to return that way. And Pinnacle, or the Pinnacle, is at 4,800 something feet, and Blackrock is at above 5,800, so that means on my return I have to gain over 1,000 feet minimum just to get back to Blackrock, and that's not including the climb up to Yellowface, which it would be another 400, 500 feet. So it's great weather, but the return hike is going to be the toughest part. Anyways, it's a little less steep here, and I am hopefully getting close to the main trails in Pinnacle Park. And the forest has definitely changed from the alpine feeling spruce fir forest to Much more deciduous trees. This is such a relief on my feet. According to the sign, the distance between the Forest Road junction and Blackrock Mountain is only 0.6 miles, but that is going to be a brutal 0.6 miles on the return. That was so steep, and luckily kind of get a nice break for my legs and feet on this flat forest road track before I get closer to the pinnacle. I think I'm just about at the pinnacle. This is probably the flat spot right before a more open rock outcropping, but it's pretty cool how the land narrows. The forest road track ended, and it was this tiny little trail, and I didn't know where it was going, and it ended up here at the end of the little finger. So this is the pinnacle. Pretty awesome. To the right is very steep drainage. That peak is Perry Top, and then this direction is south. I think it's generally south, and that's Sylva down there, and beyond is like all the Transylvania Nantahala waterfall region. Let's go check out the rest of it. Ooh-wee. Oh yeah, awesome. So, a little bit more open on this little rock pinnacle. So this direction east is the Great Balsam Mountains, and the biggest ridgeline dead center, pretty sure, is Richland Balsam at 6,400 feet. It's the biggest peak of the Great Balsams, and it looks all black from here, covered in a spruce fir forest. Then you can see here the Fisher Creek drainage below how I came down. So I think the tallest peak in the middle is Blackrock, and then some of that is the ridgeline behind. Then I look back this way, and I got the rest of the pinnacle bald overhead. And I could even see some of the southern Smokies through there. Incredible. Well, the trail keeps on going, and it ends at a true pinnacle. Nice. You can just see the cliffs just keep going down. I was hoping to do a cool exit segment at the top of Blackrock Mountain with the grand views and me looking all tired and pathetic. But there was a nice couple up there, and we got to talking, and it would have been pretty awkward if I shot a phone video right beside them. So I continued on, and now I'm at the top of Yellowface. It's hard to tell. This is a pretty flat mountain, and it's difficult to get any good vantage points with my mini tripod that I carry. So thus I look really close because I'm sitting on the ground beside it. I am extremely glad that I decided to finish the last 4 ounces of Gatorade I had and filled up with water before I climbed up Blackrock, because that was crazy steep. It was around 800 feet and 0.6 miles, and it was just straight up. So I was worn out, and it took me over 30 minutes to get to the top, and by that time my water was treated. I drank more than half of it, and since then I drank all of it because I was pretty underprepared for this full hike. My original plan was to just go to Blackrock, but it was such a nice day I just kept going, and I didn't know it'd be that tough. It's already 6:15 and pretty close to the parking lot, but it's getting late, and I've decided to not hike up Waterrock Knob even though it's a short hike. I'm pretty tired. I'd rather just chill at the car, drink a Pepsi and some Gatorade, and check out the overlooks on the Blue Ridge Parkway on the way down to see if I can get any good pictures in this direction. Luckily I can save that for another day and just do that, hike to Lynn Lowry and Plott Balsam, and add a couple new 6,000 foot peaks to my resume along with Yellowface today. This is my first visit to the Plott Balsams, as I mentioned earlier, and there's not many official trails. There's really not much information online or in any hiking books about it, but the views just today were spectacular, and I bet Waterrock Knob is really cool as well. So I'm definitely going to come back in the near future and hike that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long day, it was a fun day, and just outstanding views. And if you're looking to do this hike, there are a few websites that have some GPS tracks and information. I will get my own up soon, so check out the links in the video information. Otherwise, stay tuned. I'll be having a lot more videos coming up this summer.